Happy New Year, everyone. It's the first edition of Weather for Weather Geeks of 2018. Hope you had a good New Year's weekend. The weather has certainly been remarkable lately. We've had no shortage of things to talk about, and that's going to continue to be the case for the rest of this week. Some really, really impressive cold is still coming our way. You think it's cold out now, just wait a few days. The worst is coming at the end of the week. All right, when we look back at the period when a lot of people are off of work, everyone's off of school between Christmas and New Year's, this will be in the record books from Christmas to New Year's this year. When we look back at all the temperatures across the region, this will end up being the coldest week from December 25th to January 1st on record. An average temperature at the Youngstown Warren Airport of 11.7 degrees. Again, that's looking at highs and lows, not just the highs. So 11.7, that was the average temperature in that week where everyone's off between Christmas and New Year's. And, we expect it to be cold at this time of the year, but, this has been pretty ridiculous. All right, the ice continues to grow on all the area lakes and rivers. When we look at the Great Lakes, here's a look at the latest ice cover. That kind of gray coloring out here, this is the most solid ice across the western end of Lake Erie, but starting to see a decent amount of ice in the red colors along the southern shore of the lake. And I posted this earlier on today, this animation. This is a forecast animation showing the ice cover increase over the next few days. Keep an eye on, will it play again? Let's see if I can get that to play again. There we go. Keep an eye on the area shrinking in the middle. That's the open water shrinking. And so by the end of this week and into the upcoming weekend, the total ice on Lake Erie will probably be up around 80 to 85%. And certainly that's going to start to reduce the lake effect that we'll have as we get into the rest of the winter, unless we get a quick thaw in a couple weeks, which is possible. I'll talk about that in just a second. When I recorded the Weather Geeks a little after 7 this evening, these were the temperatures. We're holding on to the lower teens across northeast Ohio, but it's 5 degrees in Indianapolis, 3 in Chicago, 1 in Dubuque, and the wind chills are pretty nasty as well. We have wind chills as cold as 15 below in Chicago, 20 below in Dubuque, 2 below in Columbus, and our wind chill here locally, let's zoom into our local area here. Wind chill in the 7 o'clock hour, a whopping 4 below zero. So some 2-hour delays are starting to roll in. Don't forget you can check out the complete list of 2-hour delays, any cancellations, any adjustments, WFMJ.com and our Storm Tracker 21 app. All right, wind chill advisory is in effect for our region. A lot of real estate across the lower Great Lakes, the Ohio Valley, under wind chill advisories. Look at this, wind chill advisory down in parts of southern Georgia and into northern Florida, where some fairly remarkable weather is getting set to unfold over the next 24 to 36 hours. A storm system's really going to what we call bomb out as it comes across and hits the open Atlantic here. This thing is going to become a monster off the east coast of the U.S. And yes, it's going to drag some snow as far south as northern Florida. And everybody makes jokes, about how it's only an inch or two of snow. They don't have the equipment to deal with an inch or two of snow in these southern latitudes. So while we think of an inch or two of snow as, no big deal, kind of a minor inconvenience, this is a gargantuan deal for people that live down there. Check out the expected snow here down in the southeast. There'll be a stripe of 2+ inches from roughly the Florida-Georgia border up through maybe Charleston. Myrtle Beach is going to get some snow. Hilton Head's going to see snowflakes up into the southeastern part of North Carolina around Wilmington, and then east of Charlotte and Raleigh as well. And then we head off to the north, and when this storm really bombs out off the coast, not only is the snow going to be a real big deal up here, I mean, we're talking maybe close to 2 feet, Long Island up through Connecticut, maybe parts of Massachusetts. Not only the snow is a big deal, but this will be a downright blizzard up here across parts of New England. The wind is going to be ferocious. There'll be tremendous snow drifts. And unfortunately, there could be quite a bit of power outages. And after the snow ends, it's going to be unbelievably cold up here in New England, so power outages will be a very big deal. All right, back here at home, here's the story on the wind chills over the next few mornings. Of course, everybody who has kids, teachers want to know, hey, what are our chances of some school adjustments over the next few days? Tomorrow morning, again, starting to see a fair amount of 2-hour delays coming in already. 5 to 10 below, the wind chills around daybreak for tomorrow morning. Now, Thursday morning is going to be cold. It's not going to be maybe quite as cold. We're splitting hairs here, but 0 to 5 below will be a pretty good average as far as the wind chills Thursday morning. And that'll be the warmest morning we have coming up, because look what happens on Friday. Ugh. Now, all kidding aside, this is some dangerous cold here. you can get frostbite very quickly. And if you have exposed skin and happen to be out Friday morning, you know, frostbite can occur very quickly with winds like we'll have them and temperatures like this, wind chills 20 to 25 below for Friday morning. I think we're in the same neighborhood then Saturday morning as well. Let me back up and show you Saturday morning right here. Of course, this isn't a school day, and anybody who might be out and about early Saturday morning, again, these are the wind chills. Air temperatures Saturday morning could be as cold as 4 or 5 below. I doubt we're at 8 below like the model has here, but my forecast is 4 below for Saturday morning. Even if all these numbers are off by a few degrees, too cool by a few degrees, you know, if the wind chill's still 18 or 20 below, it's still a big deal. It's still dangerous. And, you know, we ran a story on the news tonight about people leaving their dogs out and that sort of thing. You'd think it's total common sense that you wouldn't do that, but people do it. And, you know, this is dangerous stuff not only for humans, but for our furry friends as well. Look at the widespread cold that's coming at the end of this week. These are the wind chills Friday morning. Again, pretty bad around here, but look up to the north. I mean, 20, 30, even 40 below. And it gets even worse Saturday morning. Saturday morning, yikes. Look at these wind chills. Up around Montreal and Toronto, 30, 40, even 50 below zero wind chills. There'll probably be some 50 below wind chills across the northern reaches of New York State as well, up around the Adirondacks and the Tug Hill Plateau. So again, some very, very impressive cold. Will it come with any snow? No big storms for us. Again, big storm for the East Coast. We'll get nickeled and dimed a little bit, I think, Thursday into Thursday night with some scattered snow showers and flurries. Every flake will stick, and it's going to be windy, and so all this dusty snow is going to blow around. Could see a coating to an inch or two Thursday into Thursday night, just enough to make things slick out there again. Road treatment not very effective when it's this cold outside, and we'll probably still hang on to the chance for flurries on Friday. There's that big northeast storm getting set to leave Friday morning. But you know, the snow is not the big story here. It could be inconveniencing certainly on Thursday, but the cold is overall trumping the snow as far as our big stories go. All right, what about the longer range? Now, the cold's going to start to ease as we go into Sunday and Monday. It may come with some accumulating snow Sunday night and Monday. We'll talk more about that in future editions of this video this week. But look what happens to the cold. The harshest of the cold exits the playing field by Sunday and Monday. We'll get above freezing on Monday. It may even rain some on Monday. That's how mild it'll be. We might get close to 40. And then a fresh cold air mass does come down for a day or two middle of next week, but it's just kind of a glancing blow. We're not in the heart of the harsh cold middle of next week. Doesn't look too bad at the end of next week. This is next Friday, the 12th. Some warm anomalies showing up here in the eastern U.S., and we may have, you know, a downturn to colder temperatures, just sort of average cold maybe for around the 14th and 15th. But it's interesting. This is the European model, and it's interesting what it's showing here as we go out to the 2-week time frame. This is the middle of 2 weeks from now, so Wednesday the 17th. Notice the warmth that it's showing across the lower 48 states, parts of Canada as well. And, you know, this is just a model, so it's not a forecast, but this idea has some merit. A lot of winters like this one that have gangbuster ends to December and starts of January have a pretty significant thaw that comes in the middle of January. So this would kind of fit that pattern. We talk about those analog years sometimes, years that have similar setups to this one, similar conditions, and some of those years that look similar to this one had a decent thaw towards the middle of January. So that idea, I'm not ready to jump on board 100% just yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's right that 2 weeks from now we have a pretty decent January thaw. Well, thanks for watching tonight's Weather for Weather Geeks. Don't forget to check out that list of school adjustments on the Storm Tracker app and WFMG.com. I'll see you back here tomorrow evening, and I wish you a great Tuesday night.